We are going to go a bit over time today because there's one more call, and I got the go-ahead from the crew. They're going to let me talk to one more person here. So, yay, we get to do some extra time. Sam from Ohio, you are talking to the fine folks here at Truth Wanted, I say, in the most non-egotistical way possible. Sam, you're live on Truth Wanted. What's up?
Yeah, so the poll said, can a Christian be part of the LGBTQ community? And I say yes.
Mm-hmm. Now, Sam, are you a Christian?
No.
Okay. So what's your? So I think it's a fascinating question for us on our side of the table, right? Because it's only a question that Christians can answer, and ultimately there is no true answer to this, right? Because Christianity, as we probably understand it, and you know, don't let me make assumptions for your position, Sam, but if we understand that Christianity is a human religion and humanly constructed, then their rules about how to treat other humans are also humanly constructed and aren't divine. So there's no divine objective answer to this. It's whatever the people in authority within Christianity say. And even then it doesn't matter because there's always going to be defectors of Christianity. Christianity is rife with people saying, no, this isn't the way that you should interpret it. Here's the real way you should interpret it. So I think it's a never-ending thing. What do you think, Jamie?
I think to touch on your last point there of this Christianity, that Christianity, there's always going to be someone saying you're Christianing wrong.
Yeah.
And so there will be Christians that will say, I'll leave out the expletives, but effectively that no, it wouldn't be possible for a person who was otherwise a Christian and then a member of the LGBTQIA plus community to remain a Christian. They'd be given over to a reprobate mind. Oh, they're one of those, etc. And I think that there are people, unfortunately, that see things the other way, that think that if they meet a person and they say, oh, I'm gay, oh, cool, I'm an ally, oh, hey, how's it going, whatever, et cetera. No, I can't do that on Sunday, I'm going to church. That suddenly, somehow they're not a part of the LGBTQIA plus community, and I don't think that that's fair. It's not atheist LGBTQIA plus, it's LGBTQIA plus.
Sure.
So I agree with you.
Yeah. What do you think, Sam?
I'm not really sure.
Fair enough. That's the best. That's an honest answer.
So it sounded like you said that you, when you were answering the poll, that you believed that a person could be part of the LGBTQIA plus community and a Christian.
Yeah.
Walk us through your thinking on that.
Yeah.
Because I think it's an interesting point that needs to be.
Well, so when most people think about LGBTQ, they think about homosexuality, and that's some people say that's a big no-no. Some people say it's okay. It's not just homosexuality. You could probably identify as a different gender. You could maybe identify as bisexual. It's not just homosexuality. Like, you could identify as a female and still be a Christian, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, so again, it's a theological question, right? And like, if my position is all theology is ultimately bullshit, so it doesn't really matter. But like, if a Christian is telling me that they are a Christian and they are part of the LGBT community, LGBT plus community, and they have no problem reconciling that, I mean, personally, I'm fine with that. I mean, because who cares, right? Like, yeah, I personally don't see how, for most of Christian history and most of people who've talked about theology, you can make it work. There are liberal scholars who I've read the arguments for that look at passages in the Bible and say, oh, well, you can actually interpret it to be inclusive. I'm not convinced that you can, personally, but it doesn't matter because I'm not a Christian, so...
I mean, as a bit of light reading, if you those ones I haven't read, in terms of, like, what are the actual most serious, explicit, no, we're going to take on the question of, when we said kill him with rocks, we didn't really mean it in terms of being compatible.
It's more like when Paul was talking about homosexuals, he's actually talking about temple sex workers, basically. Like, there's people who would say if you reinterpret the language here, it's not actually talking about people's sexual orientations or identities in the New Testament. And in the Old Testament, there's other things that people point to. But like that's where the academic discussion goes. Yeah, from my understanding.
So when they're talking about the stuff in the New Testament, they're saying no. He's saying, don't be a hoe for the church, but be a hoe if that's what you're gonna do.
I swear to God, Jamie, you're gonna this.
It's an honest question. Is that what they mean?
I have no fucking clue, dude. I don't know. I don't know.
Okay, I'll take a look at it.
Sam, any final thoughts before we wrap up today's show?
Yeah, before you let him escape me.
Oh wow. Probably just that. It's really just an individual's choice on whether they can be Christian and be part of the LGBTQ community.
Yeah.
I guess it's not really us, like as people, to decide, only the individual.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you don't mind me asking, are you? Well, I think you said.
No, you already said he's not a
Christian.
Yeah.
I was going to ask, are you a Christian that's a member of the LGBTQIA plus community? But I didn't know whether you wanted to get into the other half of that conversation.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with Sam, right?
Yeah,
Look,
I think
if a Christian says they're gay,
I don't
they make
really,
it work.
Yeah, I'm not here to tell Christians.
No.
No. I disagree with you, but also here's the way that you should be Christian at me.
Yeah, exactly.
When you
I can't be like, no, you're not a real Christian. Why would I care about that?
Yeah,
but
I mean, I could point to things in the scripture, but ultimately, someone else is determining what their religion is.
Christianity is a series of reinterpretations, and the truth is, I don't think there's any form of Christianity that exists today that even comes close to what the first people actually believe. We really won't know.
Christianities, because the first 2 centuries,
that's right.
They were like,
even in the beginning, there were
versions where there were 2 gods, 365.
In the Bible, they talk about the differences that Peter and Paul had on theologies, and one of them supposedly met Jesus.
Yeah,
and the other guy saw him individually. Like that's like right from the that's right from the jump they were having disagreements. So ultimately, it doesn't matter what Christianity has to say about LGBT people. Doesn't matter. It matters in the sense that we have to help people in those communities.
We have to respond to it,
and we have to dismantle these arguments when they come up. But if somebody wants to call themselves a Christian and be a part of that community, there shouldn't be any.
I'm not going to kick them out the club.
Yeah, who cares? I mean, it's whatever. But anyway, Sam, I hope our takes made sense and were informative. Any final thoughts before we let you go?
Just one. Some people have different interpretations of the Bible, right? And that's why you see multiple sects.
Sure.
Or SECTS.
Yeah.
Not SEX, but and that's another point to why there's no clear answer.
Yeah.
And that's just my final thoughts, nothing else.
You're right. There are no clear answers.
It's almost like the method they're using to try and find the answer isn't particularly reliable.
That's a thinker. That's a real thinker. But anyway, yeah, you're right. Sam, it doesn't like it's never. There's never going to be a true objective answer. Christians will continue to try for as long as Christianity exists to find a true objective answer to these questions, but it doesn't exist because ultimately the whole thing was made up. The whole system the game was rigged from the start.
Yes.
And then
but in a way where we all lose.
Right, exactly. Sam, we're going to go ahead and let you go. Thank you so much for calling in.